everyone! If you have been following me on social media, you know that we have started remodeling our kitchen. It started out as a very brown space and we needed more counter space, more storage space, and in general we wanted to make it a little bit brighter and have more of our personality. A few weeks ago, we switched out the floors. In fact, this entire project started because we needed to change those floors. So we took this opportunity and extended out the kitchen. We added new cabinets, a new countertop, and now it is time for the backsplash. Today we are tackling the backsplash. And I have never ever tiled before. So I called my amazing friend, Joanie, to come help.
Hello! All right, I'm excited because I think tiling is something that you're always gonna do now. Now that you know how to do it, it's gonna be something that you're gonna be like, oh, I can do that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and we are actually going to be using something that neither of us have
used, right? Wow.
So we're using the MusselBound Adhesive Tile Mat, which
it seems a little bit scary to me because I don't know, like I said, I've never used it before, but anything that's ever stuck to a wall, I always feel like doesn't stay. But this looks like really thick and sticky.
Yeah, and I've seen pretty decent reviews about this online, so we're hoping to make it work.
It looked really good online.
And the good thing about this is that it makes everything a lot quicker and
less messy. Which
So,
I'm all about. Yeah.
Let's try it and
see.
Let's go. Step 1 was to turn off the power and unscrew all the outlets and add tape around them to protect them and ourselves. Then we laid out the tile pieces to get an idea of how they were going to line up.
Come to the side like this. This is usually what I do. I come to the side like where I want it to go, and I mark like my bottom, my top, right? And then I come like this and I mark my side and my side. And then I come in and where they meet is where like where that one meets and that one meets and that one meets. That's my square.
To make them all the same size, we set up a cutting station and marked a straight edge at 18 inches to help us cut faster. But we soon found out exactly how sticky that adhesive mat was. Finally, we cut out the first piece and decided to put it up.
Is it super sticky?
It is super sticky. Okay.
Oh my goodness. This is no joke.
But aligning it is while it's sticky, because once you align it, then it's kind of hard to
move it again. Yeah. Pretty good though.
There.
Cool.
Good?
Yeah.
Let's press it in.
There's
a little bit of a thing in there. Okay, got it out. All right. That's done. And then we just kept cutting pieces and putting them up. Now, when you first place the adhesive mat on the wall, you want to place it lightly so that you have some time to fix any bubbles or wrinkles. And then once you're happy with the placement, you can just go ahead and apply force to activate the glue so that it adheres well to the wall. Around the outlets and windows, you can simply use a utility knife and cut it out. And then it was time for the tile.
Okay. But I will say, like, the fact that this has that backing on it, makes me feel a little bit better about it sticking to that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. All right. Ready?
All right, let's do it.
And it says hold it on for 5 seconds? Oh my gosh, I'm pulling with like all my might. It didn't come off. That's good.
Awesome.
Okay, these things are loud and they're very intimidating. But it's not as crazy as you would think, but sometimes you do have to get your hands pretty close to the blade, so you have to be really careful with these saws. The first thing you want to do is prime the pump. So you'll unconnect these little tubes, turn the machine on, make sure the water's flowing through, plug them back in, and then make sure it's running over the blade, and then you can cut. The water has to be running over the blade or else it will be bad.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so let's do it.
All right. So eye protection.
Eye protection, ear protection. This thing is crazy loud. And I'm just gonna wear my mask because I don't want to breathe in any. Your mask doubles as like another mask.
I know.
It's crazy.
I muted the saw sound to help your ears, but it is like any other saw. Respect the blade and go slow. Once you get a hang of it, it actually is pretty easy. Now, one of the important things with using adhesive tile mat is that you have to completely dry the tile before putting it onto the mat. Now, this does make for an extra step, especially in our case because all of our pieces had to be cut.
Okay, so we made a mistake. Like all amazing builders, we make mistakes. We just put the tile right on there and just assuming it'd be very easy to get these little cuts across the bottom, but it's not so easy because the pattern has to match up really nicely. So what we're going to do is for the rest of them, just cut the bottoms off, and then I have to cut 4 little tiny pieces. So this is kind of scary.
But the good thing is it's a 45 degrees, so we are able to use the table as support and cut it. If it was a weird angle, that would not be fun.
That would not be fun.
So then for the rest of the pieces, we just cut off the bottoms so that we had a flat edge to place against the counter and did not have to worry about the tiny pieces anymore. To cut out the shape for the plug points, we had to make multiple relief cuts to get the entire space cleared. And after the front was done, you can just turn it over and continue to remove material until you have the entire square cut out. Then it's basically just dry and apply. The next day, I actually found that it was easier to simply start on the wall and roll down the mat like wallpaper, instead of trying to cut pieces and trying to manage the sticky mat. This was much faster, and I definitely recommend doing it this way, especially if you have longer walls to cover. I also bashed as many cuts as I could so I could dry them up together and then just go ahead and put all of the tiles up at the same time.
This is what we need for this project. This is unsanded grout because you have marble and metal. You don't want to scratch that up. So it's super small, and I think this is going to go a long way. I doubt we'll need more than this, but yeah, and you just mix it right in the bucket. It's really easy.
Sure, and I think one of the things was we tried to find premixed unsanded grout, but we were not successful.
Right.
So if you want to try to find it, be very careful because whatever we found that was premixed did not specifically say unsanded.
Right.
And we found that it had sand in it.
Right.
So
yes, so you make sure it says non-sanded if you're doing marble and metal. I like to use a putty knife to scoop out and put it on my float. I don't just like dig right in, and if you have a big bucket, some people like to do that, but I like to use two tools, and I work in small spaces, as you should as well. So just scoop a little bit out, put a little bit on, and start rubbing it in.
Okay, sounds good.
So you're going to need your grout float, but I don't use that. This is kind of weird. I use an abrasive sandpaper pad thing, but it's literally the same thing, but it's smaller and way lightweight. Some of these floats are twice as big and they're just not manageable, especially when you're getting into small spaces. So this is what I'm using. You want to work in small little pieces. You don't want to do like the whole kitchen and then come back because it could be really hardened on there and then you are screwed. So I just do a little bit on there like that. And you want the consistency, if you don't get premixed, to be like creamy peanut butter. Creamy, nice peanut butter. If it's any thinner than that, it won't work. But this is nice. It's like not falling off.
Okay.
So you just go in and you can go like mush it all around, whatever. Go in at angle, like different angles, 45-degree angles. And like I said, this stuff should go really, really far with this space because she doesn't have a ton of huge grout or tile space in between the tiles, rather. But yeah, just go like that and smush it around like that. Smush it in. And the no sand, you see, it's like not making any scratching sounds or anything. So
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And then we'll clean up the sides, but always want to end going at a 45-degree angle because that's going to help get it into where it needs to go.
Right.
If you just go up and down, it might not be as good, but I think you can go in any direction as long as you end it at an angle.
Okay.
And see how much, that was like 2 tablespoons and I've probably done two square feet.
Yeah.
So it goes a long way. For the edges, you'll want to just take a little bit, put it at the tip of your float. And then if you need to get up here, you just come and you press it in. Press it in and then just come across straight. Press it in and come across straight. And then you'll have your nice mark. And you can go like that, whatever. But just make sure it's really loaded on the tip of your float. Okay, so this sponge was really soaking wet and then I squeezed the life out of it until every little drip of water came out. So it's just damp. And I'm gonna come back in and kind of swirl this gently around because it's already starting to dry on the tile. Just kind of swirl it around and push it back into the little cracks and little crevices and get it kind of unstuck. Yeah, like that. Cool, cool, cool. It doesn't have to be totally clean in the first pass. You kind of just want to loosen it up and then smush it into all the little corners. Clean up where it went on the wood. And then go back, rinse this out, and wring it out. Yay! Like, it should almost be able to dry you. Yeah, and then I would let it, like, this is kind of like a little bit of a fog. This isn't a ton of stuff anymore. You can maybe hit it again. But now you want to leave it for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes maximum, because otherwise it will harden too much. And then come back and wipe it really, really gently.
Finally, to add the outlets back, you can buy these spacers. They just join together like blocks and you can have as many as you need to bring the outlet up to level with the tile. And we are done. The tile has started to bring my vision for this entire kitchen alive. The gold and the marble is exactly what I had in mind, and the tile looks absolutely amazing. I am so smitten by it. And I can't wait to get all of the other projects done and show you the kitchen reveal. So stay tuned.